In today's show, the Trailblazers complete a two-game sweep of the Kings with a win in Sacramento. And Shaedon Sharpe dunked so hard he made the cold open. Welcome to Locked On Blazers. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Trailblazers, your daily Portland Trailblazers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, world? It's your past first point guard and Trailblazers reporter, Mike Richmond. You're listening to another episode of Locked On Blazers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Available wherever you get podcasts and also on YouTube. Thanks for making this show your first listen, coming at you each and every day, Monday through Friday, each and every weekday. That is Monday through Friday. So make it a part of your daily routine. Make it your first listen. Tell your friends to do the same. Locked On Blazers, your team every day. In today's program, we're going to talk about the Blazers' win over the Kings, completing a two-game sweep with kind of an ugly but just take it victory in Sacramento. Shaedon Sharpe dunked so hard that he's going to be a big part of this show. Plus, he continues a hot shooting stretch. Deni Avdija has been setting a trend by sharing early in games. We'll talk about Shea, we'll talk about Denny, and we'll do our fastest recap in the West is what we do. So let's just get into it. No further ado. Blazers win in Sacramento 98-93. They played a home set against the Kings. Thursday in Portland, they survive a game that they darn near tried to lose. And Saturday, well, it got a little dicey late, but they win 98-93. Jeremy Grant did not play in this game with a sore Achilles. Chris Murray moves into the starting lineup. But without Jeremy Grant, you're missing your best three-point shooter. You're missing one of your sort of offensive pillars, your three best offensive players, and also a guy who's played some minutes with like all bench lineups when they say like, hey, we just need someone to score. The Blazers are already somewhat limited as just an offensive team, period, as they currently are constructed. And even when fully healthy, they're somewhat limited as an offensive team. And without Jeremy, this one's going to be tough, which is why they won the game without scoring 100 points. But they blast out of the gates. Did you notice that they were missing Jeremy Grant? No, not when they led 15-2 to begin this game. Chris Murray in that starting lineup for Jeremy has 7 points in the first quarter. But after that big start, Kings crawl back. 28-26 Blazers after one. And instead of rolling in this game, it would remain close throughout. The second quarter was disgusting. It was 19-18. The Blazers won the quarter 19-18. Yuck. Get it out of here. The teams combined to shoot 35% from the floor, 13 of 37 from the floor in the second quarter. Just like it's a gross game. A gross game that no one should have to watch. But the Blazers go into halftime with a 47-44 lead, up three after two. They haven't played super well by any means, but they're winning, and they're winning without Jeremy Grant. And it's not like it has not been an entertaining or an impressive game, but we're not rewarding style points here. The Blazers are just trying to stack a win and maybe stack some good habits along the way, but the win is the most important thing. Come out in the third quarter, and Shaedon Sharpe scores 10 points. He had 11 in the first half and 10 in that third quarter. He was the offense. All 10 of his points came on 2-point makes, a couple little middies, little floaters, getting all the way to the rim, but scored in close. Didn't hit threes, didn't get to the free throw line. 5 of 7, all five buckets are twos, and he scores 10 points in the third. And the Blazers maintain their lead and go into the fourth, set up 72-69. Portland hasn't pulled away. Neither team can score. The Kings have under 70 points through three quarters, but the Blazers haven't run off on the Kings yet. The biggest lead of the game still is that 15-2 start to the game. Portland has not pulled away, and the Kings, by virtue of the Blazers not kind of burying a bad basketball team, the Kings, by virtue of this loss, now have the worst record in the Western Conference. Congratulations to the New Orleans Pelicans, red hot to climb out of the cellar. The Kings are the worst team in the West, and like they look like it, right? It's not a mystery. You watch them play that they look like it. They play a very bizarre version of basketball, a lot of middies, a lot of isolation jumpers. They do not take many threes. They don't make many threes. They don't defend. It's a bad basketball team. But Blazers are so shorthanded that they don't have. Portland is just straight up not good enough in any given night to take any team for granted. They're not good enough to have easy games. Every game on their schedule is going to be a game they are capable of losing. Most of the games on the schedule are going to be their games are capable of winning. And in this game, when you're just up by 3, it's like it's teetering somewhere between like, this is going to be a pretty frustrating loss versus like, all they got to do is hold on for 12 minutes against the Kings. But Sacramento finally takes a lead. 10:08 left. Maxime Renaud hits a little floater on a pick and roll from Dennis Schroeder in the paint. Kings get up 76-75, their first lead of the game. They would lead for 9 seconds. The Blazers immediately score on the other end. They rip off an 8-0 run. And after another Kings bucket, I guess you could say 8-0 and then 10-2, Deni Avdija throws a lob to Rob Williams. Blazers back up by 8, 7 minutes left. Again, they haven't run away, but they never let the Kings get control. The final 2 minutes, things get a little bit dicey. Denny drives down, but let's start here, though, with the highlight of the night, one of the great dunks of the year, one of the great plays of the year, something you will see for a long time because, boy, did he jump high, and boy, did he dunk on someone famous. Deni Avdija drives down the right side of the paint. Defense collapses. Everybody's in the lane to prevent Denny from going right, and he can't get all the way to the rack, and he spots Shaedon Sharpe, who puts both his hands up and says, "Dog, I am wide open in the corner." Denny kicks out. Dennis Schroeder closes out. You gotta close out short on Shaedon Sharpe. Make him shoot the ball. He's been shooting it great, and he might burn you. But the other option is what happened. Dennis Schroeder does not close out short. By close out short, I mean you chop your steps as you're running towards the shooter, and instead of like getting all up in his 6 inches and trying to prevent that shot, you close out to say like 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and just contest with your arms. Like you kind of concede a jumper, you concede the kick out. But Schroeder doesn't. He closes out hard. Shaedon Sharpe gives him just enough of a eyebrow fake, ball fake to have him fly by, and Sharpe with a wide open lane along the baseline. We've seen it many times. He did it against Washington as a sophomore. We've seen it in the past as well. Like this is not a place you want to be because this dude is an athlete and he's got a runway, a live dribble, and he can explode into a 1-footed leap, and he does. Blazers up by 3 when Shaedon Sharpe gets the flyby from Schroeder, gets into the paint. Russell Westbrook comes over to, take a charge or at least step in the way. And Shaedon Sharpe jumps what the NBA called 47 inches in the air. And he kind of bumps Russ. Russ like truly got dunked on. Sometimes you kind of get dunked near, but Russ he kind of bailed on truly taking a charge, but like he gets in the way, and Shaedon just jumps basically over him on this 47-inch vert. And when he hits Russ, it's almost like he Mario jumps even higher. He ends up turning basically sideways, his Superman, where his like chest is facing towards the court, where he's fully horizontal, throws it down. And what Shaedon doesn't always do, but the times that you do see him be most emotional is after he throws down a big dunk, he lets out a roar. This is a highlight. This is one you will see a lot. This is maybe the dunk of the year, maybe the best dunk of the year. Certainly Shaedon's best dunk of the year. And he's a great dunker. He'll probably have some other ones that rival this, but a runway over Russ, jumping as high as he did. If you haven't seen it, for copyright reasons, I can't play highlights on this particular program. But if you haven't seen it, go search it wherever you typically search highlights. It's awesome. It is the type of dunk that you immediately text your friends, yo, and they know what you're talking about. No context, just a long yo or a long AYE type of thing. If you were at the skate park, you would bang your skateboard on the lip of the vert ramp. If you were watching someone in a fight, you would probably cover your nose like, oh, it stinks. Any type of the classics. It was that. It was absolutely that. It was highlight of the year. But the Blazers are only up 5. And here's the thing. They have to pass the ball in later in this game, and it's going to go south for them. Minor highlight. This is not going to make anyone else's show, but this is Locked On Blazers, so it's definitely going to make mine. Blazers are up 5 with a minute left, and Donovan Clingan gets the ball in the right-hand corner with DeMar DeRozan on him and his back to the basket. He's kind of posting up at about 17 or 18 feet, and Clingan spins off DeRozan, takes 2 dribbles and finishes at the rim. A 2-dribble quick pivot drive from Donovan Clingan. What? Not the level of highlight that Shaedon Sharpe's was, but what? I have never, ever seen you act like that, to quote John Wall. Bonkers. But you're also up 7 with 54 seconds left. You should win the game. I have terrible news. They almost didn't. Kings come down, miss a three, get a rebound. DeMar DeRozan hits a three in the corner off offensive rebound. That's life, right? They're gonna rush threes. Threes are gonna come off for long rebounds or at least high rebounds typically. Sometimes those are a scramble. If you're, the Blazers are not a very good defensive rebounding team, you're gonna give up boards, right? And then that's life. You're just trying to defend and play smart. But DeMar DeRozan hits a three, 4-point game, 36 seconds left. Blazers get the ball into Shaedon Sharpe. Kings don't foul. They don't have to foul. It's a 4-point game with 36 seconds left. You know they don't have to foul. Sharpe has a little trouble just getting his dribble started, even below the free throw line, towards the end line, and then turns it over, trying to get it out of that sort of trap as he's dribbling. But immediately the Rockies start with his dribble, then everybody smells blood, right? The shark's in the water. It's like you can tell, okay, this guy's he's nervous, trying to get off the ball. Pressure comes. They get a steal, and Russell Westbrook misses a three, and the ball comes off hard, and it goes out of bounds. They initially call it to stay with Sacramento, but the Blazers challenge. It pretty obviously live hit Dylan Cardwell's hand, but I'm not. I'm watching on TV. I got a good view. The Blazers get the ball back. Sick. Okay, you survived. You survived that first. You got the ball in bounds, but you don't have point guards. Shaedon Sharpe has a shaky handle. It is what it is. You turn the ball over, but you got it back. Okay, you got it back after the challenge, and you're gonna get the ball with 24.8 seconds left, and you get to you're up 4. Get the ball in bounds. Make some free throws. You're gonna win the game. Yeah, they have to get the ball in bounds. It's a nightmare. They couldn't do it on Thursday. Can't do it today. They just had another one where they couldn't get it across half court because they have shaky ball handlers. And this one, Tamani Kamara in the corner, they can't get the ball in close on a flasher to coming to the ball. So he tries to sort of lob it over the top, but they're in this deep coffin corner right in front of their own bench, and that lob is not hard enough. And there's just it's too much pressure, too much anticipation. It's too far of a throw. It's just bad. It's a bad pass. It's a bad choice of a pass. It's a bad design that would allow for that pass. It's just bad all the way around. They turn the ball over and the Kings get it back, and Dylan Cardwell is fouled inside. He's fouled at the rim after Russell Westbrook steal, who Cardwell makes the first, misses the second. Rob Williams chases down the rebound. He's fouled during the chase down. He hits both free throws with 16.5 seconds left. 3-point game becomes a 5-point game. Blazers survive and win 98-93. That's your fastest recap in the West. I want to talk about this inbounds pass because it's absolutely bonkers. It is straight up malpractice that they were in this situation. Let's talk about that and Shaedon Sharpe, who's been on an absolute heater for the last 5 games. We'll do that in the second segment. Join me there. First, though, I want to tell you about Robinhood. Nobody knows your money goals better than you. Robinhood puts you in control of your money with tools that work as hard as you do. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again, channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/your money. Again, that's Robinhood.com/your money. Today's show is also brought to you by the local YMCA. That's right, the YMCA of Columbia-Willamette, that wants you to find your play because they believe everyone deserves to find their place to play, because play connects us, strengthens us, and brings our communities together. Through the 3 pillars of the YMCA: youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility, the Y is your local nonprofit helping people of all ages move, grow, and belong across the Portland and Vancouver metro areas. If you go to the Y, you're going to find 6 courts and a full fitness center at the Beaverton Family Y. Plus, you're going to find families swimming or playing pickleball if you go to the Clark County Y or the Sherwood YMCA. Plus, family activities all year long, brand new workout equipment at all 3 branches of your local YMCA, and so much more. And with YMCA camps, childcare, and enrichment sites throughout the region, the Y gives kids safe, fun spaces to learn and build confidence all year long. I was a YMCA camper kid. It was an incredibly fun part of my childhood, and now I am a YMCA member as an adult, and I love it. I love going and get shots up, getting a workout in, swimming. The pool, the branch I go to has a family pool where I can take my youngster and get in the pool and play around and have all types of fun, even when I'm not working out. So why not check it out for yourself? Find your play at the Y. Visit ymcacw.org/pod. That's ymcacw.org/pod, or follow them on YouTube and Instagram at YMCACW. All right, thanks for making this show your first listen. If you are really someone who lives by the code, if you truly never miss an episode and you are an audio listener, make it official. Join the Locked On Everydayer Club. You get ad-free audio, which is an audio version of this podcast without the advertisements. Plus, you get access to the members-only Discord where you can get in there and chat with me and your fellow fan. It's built for your most loyal fans. So if this is part of your life, if this is part of your daily routine already, I think the Everydayer Club could be a great option for you. It's Locked On Blazers with no interruptions. $5 a month, $50 a year. Go check lockedonblazers.supercast.com, or you can check the link in the show notes to learn more. Okay, let's talk about this inbound stuff, because this is, against the Kings on Thursday. The Blazers had, just nightmarish times getting the ball inbounds. They almost lost the game basically because they couldn't get the ball in from the baseline. They would have to call timeout. They couldn't get timeouts from the sideline out of bounds. They find themselves in a similar situation, right? Up 4, 25 seconds left. They just want a timeout. Here's the thing. This is why this is unacceptable. This is malpractice. You cannot put your team in this situation. The Blazers had 2 timeouts. 2 of them. 2 timeouts. Advance the ball. Do not take it out from in front of your bench. Do not take it out from that corner. Get a play. You run sideline out of bounds from the typical out of bounds spots. Like if you're in practice, you don't run stupid coffin corner out of bounds, right? You run your plays. You run your let's get the ball in safe, make a play from the typical spot where you advance it. And if you have 2 timeouts and 25 seconds left, there is no reason not to take a timeout. It's not like you only have 1 left and you want to keep it in case things go wrong. Plus, things were going wrong. Go ahead and take the timeout when things are starting to go wrong. But 2 timeouts, 25 seconds left, up 4. Take a timeout and advance the ball. Bad execution by the Blazers. I think they're just not good at it. No one is good at it. I don't think Shaedon Sharpe is good at cutting to the ball and getting open in these situations. Teams are really denying Denny. I think no one else other than those 2 would even be capable of really wanting them to get the ball late, right? You don't want either of the centers. You really want Chris Murray, who missed 2 free throws down the stretch of this game, getting the ball in those situations. With this group, you want to design a play that's either gets the ball in the hands of Shaedon Sharpe or Deni Avdija, right? That's just how you want this one to end. You have to take a timeout there. That is on the coaching staff. Take a timeout. What are you doing? Okay. I just wanted to get that out of my system because when I saw that, I wasn't in Sacramento. I'm watching this game on the couch just like you. I'm losing my mind. Manage the game. Coach the game. What are you doing? What is the whole staff doing? This isn't even on Splitter. The whole damn staff. You say, as during the challenge, right? During the challenge, you have a stoppage. You're drawing something up. Say, wait. If we get this correct and we keep the timeout, we're taking it. Go tell the ref. Do the job. Do the job. Okay. In any case, Shaedon Sharpe. Heater. He's been on one. The dunk with 2 minutes left in this game was awesome. It was awesome. It was sick, right? Legitimately very cool and fun. Just a sick dunk. He finishes this game with 23 points on 10 of 19 shooting to go with 4 boards, 3 assists. Did turn the ball over 5 times, including a late turnover in this one. But the turnovers are just part of the things he's struggling with right now. One thing he ain't struggling with, shooting. Over the last 5 games, Shaedon Sharpe is shooting 69.2% from 3. 18 of 26 across his last 5 games. A little more than 5 a night. Shade over 5 a night. 18 makes in 5 games. I'm going to go out on a limb. This is a crazy prediction that you're going to, take this to your group chats. Tell your friends. I can't believe Mike said this. I don't think Shaedon Sharpe's going to shoot 70% from 3 for the rest of the year. I don't. That's a type of bravery you get on Locked On Blazers, is that I'll make that brave and bold prediction. I don't think Shaedon Sharpe's going to shoot 70% from 3 for the rest of the year. This is a heater. This has raised his overall 3-point percentage, which was briefly below 30%, to up around 32%. So if you look at it on the whole, you could say, well, he was cold early, now he's getting hot. Sure, that's how averages work, right? But I wouldn't say if you want to say well, he's fixed his shooting stroke. Look how hot it is. Nope. No. That's not this. This is a hot streak. People have hot streaks. But I will say this for Sharpe. I guess worth noting, during the same stretch, he's actually shooting worse on 2s than both his career average and season average, 47%. So it's not like he's been hot over the floor. His jumpers have just gone in. And he's taken jumpers in every variety of ways. It's not like he's just cut out the step backs. He's made step backs during the stretch. He probably, to be the best version of himself, has to take the 3s off the dribble. There's that's just how that's going to work. But they've gone in, and as I've said before, and I'll say it again with Shaedon Sharpe, it's a floor skill. It's the 3-point shooting is going to determine his floor, not his ceiling. His ceiling is going to be determined by the secondary stuff, but his floor, if Shaedon Sharpe can really shoot it, like if he's a 35, 36% 3-point shooter, plus all of the skills getting to the rim, plus the athleticism, like, and his ability to finish in traffic, and like he's been a good finisher, and although not as good as he was last year, but he might get back there as he gets healthier and plays a little more. He's going to be an awesome offensive player. His ceiling, like as a total impact, whatever, two-way impact player, multiple faceted impact player, will be determined by the secondary stuff, passing and defense and all those things. But like the floor raises so high if he makes threes. Like there's his general competency as a forever talented offensive player. If he makes threes, the floor is way up there. He's not going to shoot like this, but it makes you feel like if he can have these stretches, then somewhere higher than what he started the year at is certainly possible. Although, like I think just with anything, we'll wait and see, right? Like I don't think I'm going to make a prediction, say like, well, he shot 70% and I'm going to cut in half. Like what am I doing? What is that? We'll just let him play 10 more games and we'll talk about what he's shooting, right? Like I don't feel the need to have this be predictive. But I will say this stretch from Sharpe is what you wanted to see. They've had some stinkers in there, like that's some bad games, like the Memphis game. This shooting stretch has included some kind of stinkers. So I wouldn't say that like it's directly has been like, and because he's shooting so well, they've been ripping off on teams. Like that's not it. But Sharpe has this stretch from Sharpe where he has shot well and scored well and played well for 5 straight games is exactly what you wanted to see. It is so calming after a tough stretch. Mostly he's really sucked to the beginning of the year. But I think I think cutting out the best games and the worst games is probably maybe a fair way to do it, but also a stupid way to do it. I think like the real truth is it's clear that Sharpe is talented. It's clear that he is probably more healthy now than he was in an early stretch of the year. And because he has been healthier, he has looked better at the things that you need him to look better at. And that is just a huge boost. In this game, they just needed him to play well. They were kind of talking on the broadcast when the Blazers were struggling in that second quarter. It's like, they just need someone else to score. And the Blazers got 13 points off their bench, 10 from Rob Williams, 2 from Caleb Love, and 1 from C.J. Sissoko, who went 0 for 5. Kings bench got friggin' 21 from Dennis Schroeder and 12 from Nick Clifford. Like, that's 33. They got another 4 from Dylan Cardwell. That's 37. 37-13 was almost the story of this game. Blazers starters kind of spanked the Kings starters, but just a little more production deeper down the bench. And like, what the Blazers needed in this game was not some magic from C.J. Sissoko necessarily. It's like, because that's an unfair ask. What they need is their best players to play better. And Shaedon Sharpe played really well. And Deni Avdija played really well. And they survived this game because the Kings aren't very good. And they just did enough to take care of them. In the fourth quarter, responded when the Kings got a lead and held on late. And like that's sort of the path for them. They just need Shaedon Sharpe to continue to play well. That's their path. Consistency is the name of the game for him. And over the last 5 games, he's been making shots at a really, really, really high clip. Good to see. The dunk and the 3-point shooting. It's like, you look at him and say, yeah, that's what the best scorers in the league look like. It's like he's the athleticism to get to the rim and do all types of crazy stuff, and the ability to shoot from the outside to keep teams honest, to open up those drives to the rim. That is the thing that just changes Sharpe's floor. He becomes just the baseline for how good he can be is really high. If he continues to shoot well, he's going to come back to earth a little bit. He's not going to shoot 70%, but if he's like a 35% shooter for the season, he's a different type of player, and certainly that is something we will monitor. Who else played well in this game is Deni Avdija, who finished with 11 assists, but 5 of them came in the first quarter. Very interesting. Let's talk about that, because Denny dishing early is becoming a trend and something that he is making a point of doing. Join me in that third segment. We'll talk about just that. First, though, I want to tell you that today's program is brought to you by FanDuel. You know FanDuel. They're the folks that let you live bet games, including on NFL Sundays. I'm recording this in the middle of the late window on NFL Sundays. And if you're watching the games, you know that one big play and suddenly everything feels different. And with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. So every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment, live betting is the best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, the momentum flips on a turnover, and FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. So there's going to be live spreads and money lines that adjust instantly as the action unfolds, player props that update throughout the game as guys heat up or cool down, and you can bet next touchdown score, drive results, totals, and more. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com, place your live NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Still a pass versus point guard. I'm still Mike Richmond, and you are still listening to Locked On Blazers. So, Deni Avdija finishes this game. Denny and Shea, like I said, the Blazers didn't need, it could have been nice if they got one of those C.D. Sissoko, Caleb Love Magic games, but usually the formula for NBA teams is your best players play better, and the Blazers got their two best players played the best. Denny, Shaedon Sharpe, 23, 4 and 3 dimes to go with a couple steals. Deni Avdija, 24 points, 7 boards, 11 assists. He did not shoot particularly well, 6 of 18 from the floor, but got to the free throw line, 9 of 10. That's kind of what Denny has been able to do, is supplement some of his bad shooting nights. He was 3 of 9 on twos. That's a tough shooting night from Denny, but he's able to supplement that by getting to the free throw line and making free throws, and he was dishing. He also had 5 turnovers, both him and Sharpe. Both of them, that's a thing for them. Sharpe because of his handle, Denny because he can just sometimes get in too deep. He just drives to nowhere or plays too fast. But Denny's playmaking has really taken a step forward, even if the assists remain a problem. He is, as I've mentioned a bunch, he's a high turnover guy who's cut down on his turnovers with higher usage. So it makes you feel okay, but he still turns the ball over a lot for sure. But one thing he has done and made a point of is getting his teammates involved early. And after Thursday's game, in the locker room, Denny was talking to reporters, and someone asked him kind of just like a classic sort of throwaway question, because Denny had 17 in the second half on Thursday night. And they said, what changed for you in the second half? And Denny said sort of innocuously is early on, I try to make the right play and pass the ball because it can open up things for my drives later. If I'm passing the ball and knowing that I'm going to find my teammates, it can open up my drive. So it was the type of sort of innocuous, almost cliched question and answer session that you sometimes get in these settings. I'm certainly guilty of them and have had my fair share of cliched answers, right? But there's a little bit of, that sort of nothing answer is there's some real truth there. And it reminded me of a conversation I had with Damian Lillard, not one-on-one, but in the same sort of locker room setting, a few lockers up on the corner where Dame's is. Denny also has a corner, but not the premier corner like Drew and Dame have in the locker room. But if you're curious, the other two corners are Jeremy and Deni Avdija. It's for your most decorated, most veteran players for sure. But Dame had talked about how early in games he always tries to pass the ball. He's not going to be aggressive looking for his own shot. He's going to play the game, right? He's going to pass the ball and just get everyone involved. And the way Dame explained it is that he has the ball in his hands every single time down the floor. So he can get himself into a rhythm whenever he wants, because he could literally come across half court and shoot the ball 4 times in a row because he's going to touch it every single time. And his other teammates are in need to build an early rhythm. If they're going to get a rhythm and they're going to get confidence, they need touches early. So Dame had talked about, and this is maybe 2019-ish, 2021-ish, sometime in there. But probably pre-pandemic because it was in the locker room. Dame talked about some guys, they aren't going to get that many shots and they need to be set up. And on this current team, Denny's job since Jrue Holiday went down and has not returned since he got hurt on November 14th and has not played since then. Denny has moved into this sort of primary creator role, de facto point guard because of the sort of realities of the roster. And in that stretch, since November 15th, Denny is averaging 7.6 assists per game. He's been really good, but 2.6 of those assists come in the first quarter. That's about 35% of his assists come in the first quarter. Or put another way, Denny is 6th in the NBA since November 15th in first quarter assists, behind Nikola Jokic, Cade Cunningham, Davion Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Kevin Porter Jr. So the best passers in the game, and somehow Davion Mitchell, and de facto point guard Kevin Porter Jr. In terms of just total assists in the first quarter since November 15th, Deni Avdija is 3rd. He is making a point of getting guys involved. And in this game, he had 11 assists. 5 of them come in the first quarter. I think this is just sort of it speaks to understanding what your role is when you are someone like Denny. He is a high usage player that is asked to be the top distributor on the team and the top scorer on the team. And so early in the game, like, you can't just throw it to Toumani Camara at, inbound him the ball 80 feet from their rim and say, go get yourself a bucket. Not going to work. Doesn't dribble well enough, doesn't shoot well enough off the dribble. Not going to work. Pretty much the only two dudes who are healthy that you can do that to with consistency are Deni and Shea. You can throw Jeremy Grant in that, although I think he's even a little dicier off the dribble sometimes. He's better catching and playing off the catch, and using his like long strides and a couple dribbles to get himself to the spots where he wants to go. Although he can score in isolation. It is better than almost everyone else on the Blazers roster, just considering the realities of it. But in this game against the Kings, Chris Murray, who absolutely needs to be spoon-fed all of his buckets, like he's a cutter, he scores off quick buckets off cuts, and he's going to spot up shoot. He had 7 in the first quarter because of that, and Chris is going to get some garbage buckets because he's a good offensive rebounder, but like just got clean up buckets. I didn't mean garbage as bad, but garbage as cleaning up a missed shot. So like Denny understands the responsibility. None of the centers who play are going to score on their own. They're going to need to be assisted and fed. So like Denny understands if you're going to get a rhythm and confidence for the Klingons and the Williamses and the even Duop Reith if he plays a little bit and Chris Murray and Toumani Camara and Sissoko, like Denny's responsibility early in games is to drive and kick and to make plays, and he has taken that responsibility. Again, one of the league leaders in first quarter assists in terms of per game and total since he's taken on this point guard role, and about 35% of his assists are coming early in the first quarter, right? You would expect a roughly even distribution, although he plays more in first quarters and fourth quarters, so maybe a little bit out, bigger numbers there, like the bigger distributions there, but still 35% of his assists, and you really saw it in this game. 5 dimes in the first quarter, 6 in the final 3 quarters. Okay, let's talk about a couple things. One, Jrue Holiday still not back. The Blazers are they're going to be in town for 5 games in 8 days, starting Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. Woo boy, a lot of games at the Moda Center. Jrue Holiday was. They haven't released an official announcement, but Tiago Splitter talked about it. That's good enough for me. Prior to the game, he said that Drew's gone through a couple workouts and he's close, but they're just going to be really cautious with him, and they want him to be 100%. He was ruled out ahead of the game against the Kings. I'm recording this before the official injury report comes out, so we shall see. But I would say unlikely to come back in the first night of a back-to-back would be my guess. So I will just say, like, we are still in wait and see with injury updates. Speaking of that, let's talk about the schedule this week. It's Christmas week here. It's Christmas week everywhere, I guess, but in my home as well. So you're listening to Monday's program. Is going to come out a little early on Sunday afternoon. This is Monday's show. Tuesday show, we'll talk about the Pistons game. Wednesday show, that is on Christmas Eve. We'll talk about the game against the Magic. Blazers play home back-to-back, Detroit and Orlando. There will not be an episode in your feed on Christmas. I'm not going to record one on Christmas Eve. I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm also not going to record a show on Christmas, so there's not going to be one in your feed on December 26th in the morning. But the Blazers play the Clippers on the evening of the 26th, and I will record a recap and put that immediately in your feed late at night. By the time I record it, probably 11 p.m., 11:30. Maybe a little later if a game stretches long, but late on the 26th. So you will get 4 shows, 3 at your regular time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Same great time, same great flavor, and then a late show on the 26th. We'll do 4 this week. I'm just going to take a little time off for Christmas. It is what it is. I hope you get to enjoy your week, however you do so, and I hope you tell your friends about the program. And if you are an everydayer, if you are a listener to this program, I got to recommend the Everydayer Club for you. If you listen to this straight up, if you made it to the end of the program, I'm talking to you. If you listen to this show in the audio feed 5 days a week, $50 a year, $5 a month to join the Everydayer Club. You get ad-free version of this audio, so you're going to get no interruptions with this show. Plus, it's a way to support something you like. If you want to support the creators you like, this is a way to directly support me. It's also just like a way to get a clean version of the show, a show without ads. So you can just roll through it. It's a little bit shorter and it doesn't have the ad breaks. And you can get that at the Everydayer Club. Check the link in the show notes to join. Tell your friends about the program. Tell them that you can get it when you can get it this week, and then come back for tomorrow's show. I appreciate you listening. I will talk to you soon.